Interstate reopened by 5 o'clock. It could take longer than that, so if you take this route into the city to go home, you should probably find another way home. Reporting live for the Now, Hillary Lake, back to you.
Hillary, thank you so much. Here is a different viewpoint. Cell phone video from a driver who was heading down I-75 as the chase went on. You can see police with their flashing lights and sirens past the car on the left. Again, the chase has come to an end now as the suspect Ronald Foster, who was wanted for shooting at an officer, took his own life. We'll continue to watch the traffic situation and update you on this story throughout the hour.
For the very first time, the man accused of killing 5 members of the same family in a car crash last month. Remember that? Well, he faced the charges in court and he was lying on a stretcher while he did so. Daniel Grice is charged with 5 counts of murder for that crash, which happened near Independence. And the Now's TJ Parker was in court today. He has new details for us here on the Now. TJ.
And Tanya, it was an emotional afternoon here at the Kenton County Justice Center, especially for the victim's family as Grice made his first court appearance. And we learned today that Grice was traveling 96 miles an hour when he hit the Pollitt family. 57-year-old Daniel Grice brought into the courtroom on a stretcher, still recovering from his injuries from a crash where he's accused of speeding, crossing a double yellow line, and hitting the Pollitt family head on.
How fast was Mr. Grice traveling when he crashed into the car carrying the Pollitt family?
96 miles per hour.
Rodney Pollitt, Samantha Malone, and their 3 young children were killed.
They were wonderful parents. Children were so young, and no, they didn't deserve any of this. They were just out shopping and headed home, so there was no reason for it.
Samantha's mother, Tina Morgan, getting emotional after hearing the details of the crash.
We've lost beautiful children. We've lost kids that did not use drugs. They didn't drink. They took care of their kids. They were not wealthy, but they were very much in love and they were very happy.
Data from the black box inside Grice's car showed he had the accelerator pushed down at 100% when he crashed.
It looked like a bomb went off between those 2 cars. Accidents are things that can't be avoided. This was something that most definitely could have been avoided, should have been avoided, never should have happened. The Pollitt family should still be with us.
And the judge ordered $1 million cash bond in this case. Grice will go back to the hospital before being transferred to the Kentucky Correctional Medical Facility in LaGrange later this week. We're live in Covington. I'm TJ Parker for the Now, Cincinnati.
TJ, thank you. City Council member Yvette Simpson says she is not going anywhere. By now, you know she lost the Cincinnati mayoral race to incumbent John Cranley. Simpson says she isn't sure what her next move will be, but Mayor Cranley is calling himself, quote, the comeback kid, and he's vowing to build a great comeback city. And that Ohio issue, too, we were following, known as the Drug Price Relief Act, it failed by a big margin, nearly 80%. It was supposed to curb prescription drug prices for some people in Ohio. The Now's Laura Harris takes a look at some other notable and unusual results across the country.
His girlfriend was shot and killed on live TV in Virginia in 2015. And last night, Chris Hurst got to celebrate a victory, his run motivated by the loss.
That I, through tragedy, had a shared experience and a common bond with so many people who have gone through tragedy, who have gone through loss.
He beat the 3-time incumbent who was backed by the NRA in the same town where his girlfriend died. The 30-year-old touted support for stricter gun safety measures during his campaign. Also in Virginia, Danica Rome has become the first openly transgender candidate to be elected and serve in a state legislature.
To every person who's ever been singled out, this one's for you.
She also defeated an incumbent who had been elected 13 times, a social conservative who sponsored a bill that would have restricted which bathroom she could use. Not voters, but a big city council announcement last night coming from Las Vegas. Council members unanimously approving 30% of recreational marijuana license fees will go to schools in the area. And random but true, feeding pigeons is now illegal in the Las Vegas area.
From the roof caving in, from so much feces, like on the gas stations also, I see some of them. So much feces, the wind and the rain, it gets a good rain, it'll blow right on over.
If you're caught, you have to pay a fine of up to $1,000. You could even spend 6 months in jail. Commissioners are hoping this will help control the booming population of the nuisance birds that can carry more than 60 diseases.
That was Laura Harris reporting. And for a closer look at our results and where the Queen City is headed after Election Day, head over to our website at WCPO.com. Tanya.
Helping patients learn how to live without addiction. It is the goal of a new outpatient treatment center in northern Kentucky. The St. Elizabeth Physicians Journey Recovery Center opened about a month ago. It is triple the size of the previous one, and it's believed to be the largest in northern Kentucky. There's enough room to provide medical treatment and therapy to more than 800 patients each year.
We wanted a facility